Well, I think everybody had a pretty good time in the role plays. There were some interesting conversations, and I think we learned a lot by acting in other people's roles, not just our own. For example, if you're an attorney, a lot of you were able to put yourself in the place of the client or as the administrative assistant. And so I think we learned a lot. The discussion got a little, rumbled after a while, and I think people really got into it and wanted to do it a couple of more times. But we only have time for two. Where do we go from here? How realistic was our role play? From what I could tell, it was very realistic. Everybody got into their roles as if they were actually the person. What communication problems did you observe? I outlined a lot of communication problems that I observed, and I can see that there were a lot of hands that were raised them for the same exact reason. Communication in the office, going ahead and acknowledging clients as they come in, the phone ringing constantly, having people that come in and they're very difficult. They're going through difficult positions and they're ignored. And I think some of those things that we talked about, just being able to realize that they're happening can make a big difference, because oftentimes I think that everybody, like we had discussed, everybody gets into these positions and they don't, things get busy and they don't see what is occurring around them. Suggestions on how the attorney and the support staff can better communicate. We discussed a couple of those options, which included actually having weekly meetings, not just meeting once a month or once a quarter, but actually having a weekly or maybe even a daily meeting where you go through your client list and you say, these are the issues with this client. This is what this person is calling about, and they're not getting any return phone calls. And then we would definitely go into further discussion. Are there any other questions that anyone has before we move forward? Lastly, ideas for improving customer service. Every single group that comes through, or every individual client, should have an exit interview. Basically what this is that you would either sit down with the client after the case has been resolved, or you would go ahead and give the client a phone call. And I've actually outlined on page, let's see, which page are we on? On one of the further pages, I believe it is. Page 22. On page 22, you can actually see an exit interview. I've worked up a basic exit interview questionnaire that you can go through with your clients. And this can be done with the attorney or with the support staff, but preferably the attorney, because the attorney-client privilege, and if there's anything that the individual has to tell you, it's best to communicate it with the attorney. Additionally, customer service evaluations. Having customer cards in your office that people can pick up and they can mail in anonymously. So maybe they don't feel the pressure where they would in the exit interview. Referral discounts. I do know that this is something that had been discussed in the office. Having cards that people can hand out to others and having referrals where people can maybe get some type of credit or some type of discount, credit discount, or even some type of reward. You could enter them into the drawing for the upcoming year, where they would be able to be rewarded for giving referrals to others. And then additionally, mail out customer evaluations. I would go ahead, write up a letter, develop a letter, and send out these customer evaluations. I would do a mass mailing. This has never been done before in your office, so it would be very appropriate to take your customer list or your client list and to do a mass mailing of, I'm believing it's probably well into the thousands, of asking people, how is our customer service and how can we improve it? Follow-up phone calls. If somebody calls in, wants information, take down their information. Okay, even if you do give them information and it's not something that they want, do a follow-up phone call and say, why did we not earn you as a client? This is really important in improving customer service. And then thank you notes. These people are spending a lot of money on their legal issues. They need to be thanked for coming to you. There are thousands and thousands of attorneys in the area. Why do they come to you? They need to be thanked. And this will also improve your referral service as well.